Now we need to call our cart service and we have to populate the complete cart DTO. So rather than doing that inside our action method, let me create a function for that. So I'll create private async that will return a task of cart DTO, and I will call this load cart DTO based on logged in user. As the name indicates, the first thing that we will need here is the user ID of the logged in user. That we can now get from the claims object. We'll just have a where condition and we'll say u goes to u dot type is equal to sub, and we have dot first dot default dot value. Once we get the user ID, we need to retrieve the access token, and then inside our cart service we have a method to retrieve the shopping cart. So let me get the access token. It will be inside http context.getTokenAsync, and we have to pass the key, which is access token. Then we will have a variable response. We need to call the underscore cart service. Make sure to add the await keyword there. Dot, we have the get cart by user ID. Here we have to define the type, which is response DTO, and we have to pass the user ID as well as token. That will retrieve the shopping cart for the particular user in the database. Once we retrieve that, we can check here if response is not null and if response dot is success. That means that everything was successful. We need to create a cart DTO object. So cart DTO is equal to new, and we will assign that cart DTO by deserializing the object. So JSON convert dot deserialize object. We want to deserialize that to a cart DTO, and we'll pass here convert dot toString. We will be passing response dot result. Once we get the response from our service, then we can check cart DTO dot cart header. That should not be null. If that is not null, what we want to do is we want to calculate the order total, because if we examine the cart header here, we have added a property here for order total. So we need to calculate that. So here we need to calculate the order total. We will have a for each loop. We will iterate through all of the details. So all of the detail in cart DTO dot cart details. For each of the detail, we will have to multiply the price by count. So right here we'll say cart DTO dot cart header. In there we have order total. We'll say plus equal to, and we need to multiply the cart details, that is inside the detail dot product dot price, and we will multiply that by detail dot count. So with that, our order total is populated, and after that we can just return back the cart DTO. So that does all the calculation and returns back the cart DTO object. Then inside the cart index, we just need to call that and return it back. So inside the view, we can just say await, and we will call our method load cart DTO based on logged in user. We'll just make this an async method, and that should be good. Now we need to create the cart index view. So we will add that razor view empty. We will call this cart index. I do not want to call that index because we already have an index, even though it's in a different view folder inside home. Calling it the same confuses me sometimes when I have multiple tabs open right here. So that being said, everything else looks good. The one thing that I want to do before I end the video is what will be the model for our cart index. That will be a single cart DTO object. So we will be adding that inside the cart index, and then we'll be working on the UI in the next video. Let me close everything else and continue with our view in the next video.